Good morning. Good morning. I want to welcome everyone who's joined us on this beautiful Sunday morning, especially anyone who may be visiting with us for the first time. As I mentioned at the beginning of Mass, today is known as Good Shepherd Sunday because every year the Gospel includes references to sheep and shepherds. In today's Gospel, Jesus does not call himself the Good Shepherd. Instead, he calls himself the gate of the sheep. Everyone who enters through him will be saved. St. Peter reminds us in the second reading that although we had gone astray like sheep, we have returned to the shepherd and guardian of our souls. And in the first reading from the Acts of the Apostles, Peter proclaims the central truth of our salvation, that God has made both Lord and Christ, Jesus, who was crucified. We are told that in response to Peter's message, 3,000 people were baptized. That's some pretty amazing preaching. Each of today's reading reminds us that God is always calling us to salvation by following Jesus. The Latin verb for call is vocare. A person's call in life is their vocation. Good Shepherd Sunday is also the World Day of Prayer for vocations, in particular, vocations to the priesthood. A priest who has been given the care of a parish is called a pastor, which is Latin for shepherd. It is through the voice of our earthly pastors that we hear about the Good Shepherd Jesus, who wants to lead us to salvation. At the end of the Gospel, Jesus describes salvation in this way: I came so that they might have life and have it more abundantly. This is God's burning desire for the whole human race. This is why God calls each of us who have been baptized to be missionary disciples. This is why God calls individuals to become religious sisters and brothers, as well as deacons. And this is why God calls men to the ordained priesthood of Jesus Christ. We are blessed in our diocese to be ordaining one man to the priesthood this June, Will O'Donnell. His family is originally from St. Mary's Parish, although now they belong somewhere else. We will also be ordaining Nicholas Emsing to the transitional diaconate. He will be ordained a priest next year. We are blessed to have one seminarian from our parish, Ryan Pierce, who is studying in Rome. Please keep all these men and all of our seminarians in your prayers. We need to pray daily for vocations. We need to ask God to send the fire of a priestly call into many hearts. There are several boys here at St. Mary's whom I believe God is calling to the priesthood. I felt the call to the priesthood when I was in the 3rd grade, and I announced my desire on the day of my first communion. It's never too early to start thinking about and praying about a call to the priesthood. In our crazy world today, it is the special vocation of parents to nurture priestly vocations they might recognize in their children. We as a Catholic community are dependent upon the ministry of priests to celebrate the Eucharist and the other sacraments. Therefore, we have the important responsibility to pray for those whom God is calling, that they might respond generously. A deeply spiritual parish can be a furnace of prayers for vocations. I am grateful to the members of the Sarah Club who support our seminarians and priests. I know that I rely on the generosity of your prayers to sustain me in my vocation. This September, God willing, I will celebrate the 38th anniversary of my ordination. I believe that I have become a better priest because of your example of prayer and service. Together, let us follow the voice of Jesus, the Good Shepherd, who guides us in right paths for his name's sake and leads us into the green pastures of abundant life.